Hey, peace, family. Grand Rising. Um, something that was on my mind that I kind of just wanted to get off my chest for a little bit was oh, sorry. Okay, well, the title of this video was going to be, "Are we ready for war? Are Black people ready for war?" A lot of people say that we're under attack. A lot of people say that war has been declared upon us, declared on our race. But, a lot of people have said that they were either ready or we weren't ready. A lot of ways we say we ain't ready because we say, we're on their land. We say that we don't own any resources we control. We don't have a military. We don't control any weaponry. We ain't going to have any weaponry. All the above. We say that. So, just agreed upon. Yeah, definitely. But I'm not just asking for that. I'm asking mentally, psychologically, are we ready for war? Something I think that a lot of us learn, even if you were in the military, you learn to kind of be cold a little bit, really have no heart, because you're going to be in war. There's a chance you're going to be in war. So, you're going to be in combat, you're going to be in battle. So you can't really, have any heart in a way. They say you gotta be willing, you gotta be cold, you gotta be willing to take out a child if they have a bomb strapped to them. You gotta be willing to do that. It's your life versus their life. So because you kind of was taught that, you understand what it takes in order for combat, in order for battle, in order for war. One thing that we say the caucus is always ready for it because we say it's being declared upon us. We say all these extremists, they can pull out guns anywhere. They can pull out guns for a last toy on the shelf. They can pull out guns for a brother who's ordering a sandwich, in the store, using the cell phone. You know what I mean? All that. Nobody really has anything to say about. A lot of people I notice, a lot of people who attack the conscious community. A lot of people who attack the conscious community don't really speak on that. A lot of people in the conscious community don't really speak on it. But that's because a lot of people in the conscious community aren't really pro-Black and Black power. A lot of them are just individualism and they just hear for themselves. This is why you got competition in the Black power community. Had no idea that Black power and pro-Black, it would be competition and popularity. A lot of competition and popularity in the Black power, pro-Black community. Even in the streets out here in Atlanta, where people want to ostracize you simply because you're not part of a popular crowd. Really? But I thought it was Black power and pro-Black. You want to turn away, a potential supporter. You're going to turn away potential money customer. You're going to turn away a potential fellow soldier that can aid in the revolution. This is what we do. So that's when you realize that everybody in the conscious community ain't really pro-Black and Black power. But then the ones who really situate themselves as coons, if you will, and attack it, why they don't never got nothing to say about the Blacks who are being brutalized every day, killed every day, ones who are being lynched every day. They never talk about that. But they always want to criticize other Black people for saying something. I was criticized over the video I did, White and White Crime. I was criticized and attacked and said, she's cold, no heart, heartless, and all the above. I said, well, how come the white, I haven't lynched anybody. How come you don't have nothing to say about the Caucasoid race? How can they not be cool? Are they not cool when they pulling out guns randomly on people in the store over last toy on the shelf? Are they not cool when they pulling you out and patting you down because you in line to order a sandwich? Are they not cool when they're strapping nooses around your neck like we've been hearing on the news? Are they not cool with what they're doing? And they're killing, the fact that they just killing us every day at will? Is that not cool? Are we mentally and psychologically prepared for war? Are we prepared like they are? Are we willing to put a noose around theirs like they're willing to do us? This is something that you have to ask yourself, because if you don't have that code, see, for me, it's like, no, I don't care about what happened, in Vegas and whatnot. I don't feel like I should have to. So I can be as cold as the Caucasoid race. because that's how it feels in regards to us. When we're being lynched and we're being killed, you got a lot of Caucasoids out here who have no heart, and that's the extremists and whatnot, and that's the majority of them. We can look at that in history-wise. The majority of races of Caucasoid will always outweigh the number of melanated Africans that we even got just reside in this country alone. If we got 200 million euros in this country, and the majority of them is racist, you don't think that outweighs 45 million African Americans? You look at numbers. This is why we can sit there and say that. This is why people can sit there and say them statements that all white people was racist, because damn near the majority of the racist ones out even weigh our numbers here in this country. I mean, look at history. During slavery, it wasn't that many safe houses. You had the majority of white people hindering us and keeping us in slavery. It was only a few numbers who supported. Even with civil rights, same thing. A few numbers out there marching. Majority was against it. So what makes you think today that it ain't the majority and against it, and it ain't a few numbers that you might have some support? So what am I supposed to feel like? Am I supposed to just automatically see everybody as an angel when the majority of them outweigh the number of us here, and the majority of them is racist and cruel and evil and vicious and want to place genocide upon me and upon my race? And you're going to tell me I got to have a heart in regards to that? How do I know how many of them was racist in regards to that crowd? But if it was a crowd of us, when we're being killed, when the Charleston happened and the nine in the church, do you know how many racist Caucasoid was in support of it? Was happy, was laughing? Do you know how many pigs took him to Burger King? Do you know how many racists did that? But then you want to tell me, oh no, but you got to have a heart in regards to, and I be cold in regard. See, that's when I know that you're not mentally prepared for no war. And you're not psychologically prepared, because you can't tell me that as melanated African, I always gotta have a heart. We always gotta be the ones with the heart. We always gotta be the ones to care. We always gotta be the ones to be the positive ones, turn the other cheek, always be the soft ones, always be the passive ones, like we was doing for civil rights. And keep in mind, even the ones who was out there for civil rights, they was out there fighting on behalf of themselves, not on behalf of us. They wasn't fighting for black rights, they was fighting for civil rights. So they was out here fighting on behalf of themselves. So it really was even support in regards to us. But it's like we always got to be the passive one, turn the other cheek. We always got to be the soft one. We always got to be the caring one. Oh, let's care about everybody else who died and whatnot. But we never get it back. But we don't give a damn about that. Damn that the white people can kill us every day. I never hear you coons on YouTube who bash the conscious community speak on that. I'm starting to realize that a lot of y'all paid. If you come out and you acknowledge yourself as a provocateur, if you call yourself and you say you're here to provoke, you're here to antagonize, you're here to do all that, then obviously you're an agent provocateur. If you come out, you establish yourself as that, and you tell me that this is what you're here for, and you're here to provoke and antagonize and disrupt the conscious community, then you must get paid from white supremacy to do it. Because if this ain't your job, what joy do you get out of that? How is that fulfilling you and elevating you and, evolving you in any way? How is that getting you a career and a success? How is that getting you a black-owned business? How is that pushing you any further? Just coming out, that just shows how unhappy that you are if you got to sit there and stay on that low frequency, and all you do is try to pull everybody else back down to the low frequency. Instead of you trying to raise and get yourself up on a high frequency, you too busy trying to pull everybody back down to your level and on your frequency. So you already let it be known to the attitude that you possess and the frequency that you're in, in the mindset that you're in, and the energy that you're exuding. So, you're already putting that out there. But I'm just saying, if that's what you're here for, please, answer this. So that's what I'm starting to realize, that a lot of y'all just agent provocateurs, and you're just saying, and this is your job to disrupt and stop anything progressive and to attack anybody, because you're not doing nothing. You're not supporting black owned. You're not pushing black power. You're not trying to push a black owned business. You're not even trying to, get the credentials to do such a thing. So being effective, it's not about tearing down the next man. It's not about crushing them. It's not about knocking them. It's not about knocking the next man, brother or sister. If you really quote unquote black power, and if you really, really in this conscious community, it's not about attacking a person and telling them, oh, they can't do something manufacturing and they can't do manufacturing in Africa and they can't do. Why would you want to knock somebody in regards to that? If you really about black power, why is it that still crab in the barrel mentality and try to pull the next man and sister down and keep trying to attack them and bash them and bring up a competition? Are you really black power then? Are you really about boots on the ground? Are you really about putting activists? Are you really about supporting and uplifting your brothers and sisters? Are you really your brother's keeper? Because it's hard when your words don't reflect that. When your words is all about competition. That's all I see in a lot of this conscious community. That's why I'm starting to realize that not everybody's pro-black and black power. A lot of it's just full of competition and knocking the next person and dragging them down and pulling them down. It's not about coming together and unified and building up one another and strictly relying on each other. We're not about trying to compete with the system. We're about trying to compete with one another. So then it's like, okay, where do you turn then? You got the coons attacking it. They're saying that we're all bad, never got nothing to say about the Caucasoid. Like we the ones who fed kids to alligator bait. Like we were the ones that just string you up and still do this today and set you on fire. Like we the ones that dismember you and got your organs hanging in our homes. Like we're the ones who do that. And some of them still doing it to this day. So stop the bull. I remember seeing stuff on eBay where this woman was trying to reenact a slavery moment with a Mandingo fight. And was asking for black mammies and sambos and everything else. Had this in the ad. So let's not, and this just happened like a year or so ago. So let's not even say, James K. Anderson, you keep hearing about these lynches, that sister who was just lynched. You keep hearing about this. So stop saying that it's the past. When the coons want to talk about that, how can you say it's the past when we're still hearing about the lynches now? When we're still seeing the videos of them pulling out guns on random civilians? When we hearing about that, do y'all got anything to say about that? Or is it just strictly going to be on the black race? Because that's how I can tell the coons are agent provocateurs. Because when it's on YouTube and it's just strictly on the black race, and they never talk about no other race. Not even if you want to talk about the Caucasoid race, but when you don't talk about Asian, you don't talk about Native American, you don't talk about Indian, you don't talk about East Indian, Arabic, you don't talk about no other Spanish, no other race. I'm sorry, not Spanish, but Caribbean, Dominican, all the buff. Other except for black, then I know straight off the bat, you're a provocateur. This your job, you get paid. So now I'm in my mindset, you're cut off because you're a provocateur. I don't gotta pay you no mind no more. So you're cut off. I'm just here to wake up the rest of them. It's a provocateur. You want to tune into a provocateur? You must be one too. So and y'all cut off as well. Now, in regards to the ones who in this conscious community but are not pro-black and black power, what is your purpose if you're just strictly here about competition? Why are you here then? Are you a provocateur? Are you here to stagnate and stifle black power? What is your purpose if you want to be part of the conscious community? Situate yourself in it, but now don't do nothing to actually elevate it, push it forward. Don't do nothing to be an activist and put boots on the ground. Don't push any of that. Don't push the unity. Actually push the division and push the competition. Then I'm slicing y'all off as well, but I'm just curious of what your purpose is. So, this one I realized that we do have some black power. We do. We do have some black unity ones. We do have some of them who are really about that, but not all of them. A lot of them are just here for exploitation, just here to push their channel, their platform. That's it. That's all it's about. It's not pushing black dollars and circulating black dollars and pushing that economy and pushing us politically and putting us in all those positions. How are we going to take over? Watch us take over. How are we going to take over is to be put in all those positions. Show us as that we can be the alternative. We can be the alternative from this system. Instead of relying on the system, we establish ourselves as that alternative. We put ourselves in all those positions, in every role, in every field. So, and that's how we're going to take over. That's how we're going to take our planet back, starting with this country, starting with this land. So, and I'm not saying that we don't have people out here that's doing that, because we got people out here on YouTube, Facebook, and just in the streets, and don't even have social media, and just stay in the streets. And we got people out here that stay in social media and in the streets. And definitely, but we got to be able to decipher which ones, who's the real, who's the fake. And that's why I just been kind of, abstaining from a little bit and just kind of chilling on my dolo, because, it's just been a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to see it, and I'm starting to even see it in the streets, being around certain people. And I'm just like, because you know me from YouTube, this is why you ostracizing me. So you don't want my money. You don't want my business. You don't want me to pursue it. You don't know my determination here. You don't want me to pursue what I'm doing and trying to get it, still do the manufacturing all above. And maybe if I got in that position, I can help you out. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do that. You want to cut off this line of communication right now, simply because I'm not part of the popular crew. I'm not part of the popular group or whatever, even though I did nothing to ostracize myself from it, just because people just want to take it upon themselves and do it. So, when I'm dealing with this and this lack of maturity from these quote unquote elders, and these ones who want to be seen as leaders, and they want you to acknowledge them as such and respect them as such, but this is how they react. This is what you see from them. You know what I mean? This is the actions, this is what I can't take and deal with. And I'm just like, okay, then just focus on what you're doing, separate yourself, do the work that you're doing in regards to people and the connections. Don't put out, let no more. But I can't deal with the fake, when the shit is just fake. Nah, you know what I mean? And that's what I just got to realize, and that's what I got to decipher from. So I'm just going to strictly be on my game, on my business, do what I'm supposed to be doing, do what I do. That's just it. That's all I'm strictly going to do. So nothing against anybody else, but main thing was, and what I was asking from the beginning, this video was, are we ready for war? I mean, mentally and psychologically, in regards to me, I feel as though, sometimes you got to be cold. You got to be cold at times, in regards to combat, regards to battle. This is just what it is, and have no heart. In regards to when you think about an enemy or whatever, if they can be like that, then you have to kind of have that same similar mindset. You got to be willing to be on that same level, that same frequency in order to address it. You can't come as the person who, with the heart open and an open heart, and somebody else is cruel and vicious and heartless. How you going to have a heart in facing a heartless individual? And that's the problem, what I think in regards to our people, is that we always come in with this open heart. That's what happened in regards to Charleston. Came with the open heart to dealing, and look what happened. So, and that's the problem. And that's what we got to, learn. And that's asking myself, because we see in regards to a lot of races, even the Caucasoid, how they teach and how they train. Look how they train. They train their children. We ain't even willing to do that. We ain't even willing to take our kids to the gun range and train them on even how to defend themselves. We ain't even willing to show them self-defense and show them how to defend themselves, so they don't have to worry about when they being followed home by like 7 different Caucasoid men talking about, we gonna get you. So follow home from the bus stop. You know what I mean? So just to defend themselves against 7 Caucasoid men. But let's never let the coons never talk about the 7 Caucasoid men to follow the young girl home. Let's just talk about the black race. So, it's just something that I just realized in regards to a lot of people, in regards to the fake and the phony here. I mean, just real talk. And it's what I don't want to be a part of no more. So just why I just began to distance myself, and going to continue to do so, and going to continue to do that. Definitely. So it's just what it is. Just coming out real quick, just to put that out there. Just talk, speak on the truth here, family. Oh, sorry. Need this done. Whew. Okay. Yeah. So, that's just what it is. So I just felt like, psychologically, mentally, a lot of people not prepared for war. They want to say that they are combat, whatever. I understand in regards to other things, we just don't have. We get that. And I start off the video saying that, but I'm just saying mentally and psychologically, I don't think that we are. And, it takes a lot. You can see that in regards to certain people in different countries. They, you see them, they willing to sacrifice themselves. They'll strap explosive device to their chest just to carry out a mission here. You know what I mean? Just to kill a person. So they obviously, don't have a conscious about it. But obviously our people aren't like that. We're not like them. We're not like the Caucasoid. We're not like any of that. We're too passive. And I see a lot of it because even the people who aren't passive, people got a problem with it. So, and then, other than that, when you try to be about somebody who's about Black power, then you got people in the Black power community, or at least trying to associate themselves in it, ain't really Black power. So, you're just surrounded by a lot of opposition. If it ain't the system, and it ain't the coons, because all your skin and kinfolk, all your skinfolk came for, then it's the ones who situate themselves as Black power, but just kind of infiltrating it away, pretending that they are, but really not. You know what I mean? And I'm just starting to realize that a lot of our people are more, like I said, not just competitive with each other. A lot of our people see each other as the enemy more than the system. I'm going through that with the apartment building that I live at. It's this one coon ass dude who worked downstairs in the office. You mean? And coon ass nigga. And he looks at me like I'm his enemy. I mean, the way he look at me, I said, God, you can't even look at the Caucasoid that way. The Caucasoid's your friend. But you look at me like I'm your enemy. You look at a fellow sister, a brother who going through the same thing as you. I'm giving a damn if you feel like whatever. If you feel as though you got white privilege secondhand here, the crumbs. And I guess you feel as though, he feels as though I'm fucking up his crumbs, and I'm fucking up, in regards to him getting his crumbs. He looks like the type that would be on the plantation, like you fucking up, like he would snitch, because I would be the runaway. I'll be escaping here, and I'll be Harry, and I'll be planning this shit. And he'd be the snitch. He'd be the snitchy bitch, and go run and go tell master, yeah, she's really free. And I'm this she is, because I could see it in his eyes when he looked at me yesterday. I said, damn, I could just feel the energy, just sharp from his eyes. And I said, God, I'm your enemy, huh? I said, wow, it's a shame how conditioned you are and programmed you are. It's sad to see it so embedded in you, to where I wouldn't even know where to begin. Some people are so lost to where it's like even Jesus Christ, since since they believe in him, couldn't save them. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't know where to begin. It's like I want to save you so bad, but I wouldn't even know to begin because you're so lost. I don't even know where to begin because you feel as though you're at that moment where you would never let nobody wake you up. You're so, and you know what I mean? To where he's so lost in it, to where it's like he's like deaf to it. He refused to hear anything, like it'd be blocked. I would be muted. Like, yeah, like that's exactly how it would sound. Like real talk, he wouldn't hear anything. So that's why I said I couldn't even just put my energy into that. But I would want to, and just to school and do whatever. But it's just sad. That's why I said, you know what, we ain't mentally and psychologically ready for no war, right? We got to get there first before we can think about having a military or anything else or whatever else in control. We got to get mentally, psychologically prepared, because even if we took back control of this country and got in positions where we ran this country, what do you think we're going to have to do? Protect it, defend our land, protect our land, correct? Have that warrior spirit like our ancestors had, and be them shockers and be them warriors here. So, and people want to speak on Haiti and Tucson, took a little overture to us. I can't even say it correctly. You got to be, hello. So, we got a ways to go, family. Let's just say that. So I'm ending on that note. I said, I know I see y'all in a minute. I guess it was good to catch up. Sorry that it had to kind of be, a little aggressive a little bit, but it was just things that, has been on my mind for a minute, and I haven't, spoke about it, but I've been kind of wanting to get it off my chest. So I was like, all right, well, let me do that really quickly. So, just wanted to just tell the fam, straight off the bat, is that, we got to think about a lot of certain things, and we got to be able to separate ourselves. We got to be able to just decipher a lot of things, you know what I mean? And be about organization, I think, and structure, you know what I mean? Because that's main thing too, even just preparing yourselves mentally and behaviorally, psychologically for war, being organized and structured. And the way we do that is by, alienating ones that's not for us, being able to decipher who's real, who's for this movement, who's about it, what they can do, what can they bring, what can they add, what they're willing to do, what they're willing to contribute, all the above. And, be more of and move more like an organized structural movement. So, and move as like a one movement, kind of like a one band, one sound type thing. So, and, but that starts with just linking up with the people who have the similar goals in mind. So, yeah, pretty much. So peace and love. Thanks everybody tuned in. Everybody gonna watch. Remember, keep heads up, keep boots on the ground.